Just calm down. Let's calm down.
This is happening live at Airport Junction, Kwara Road in Imo State. 1st December 2025. Bandit blocked the road. They finished this motor. See what Bandit did to this motor. Broad daylight. Bandit blocked the road. Fire this car that you just see. We'll have to stop for them to finish the operation before we continue.
Huh? For daytime, for daytime. Now be saying at night now, and they pack people at the light. See all the people that are waiting, all the vehicles cannot pass.
As the year draws to a close and Nigerians begin preparing for the festive season, there's a chilling reminder of how dangerous the roads have become in many parts of the country. A viral video recently surfaced showing terrified passengers on 6 different buses traveling from Lagos to Kwara as they were attacked by bandits on their way. The passengers were seen in a state of panic, fearing for their lives as the bandits held them hostage, demanding ransom. This is the harsh reality that many Nigerians face every single day when they hit the roads, especially now, as we approach the end of the year and people are preparing to travel for the holidays. The video has sparked outrage, but sadly, it's not the first time we've seen such incidents in recent months. Insecurity, banditry, kidnapping, and attacks by Fulani herdsmen have become all too common across Nigeria. From the northern regions to the southwest, the situation is spiraling out of control. And yet, the people responsible for the security of this country seem to be turning a blind eye to it all. Why? Because it's not their families being kidnapped, it's not their wives, their children, or their loved ones suffering. It's ordinary Nigerians who are paying the price. And what's even more infuriating is the lack of real solutions from the top. Politicians seem more concerned with their personal gains and power than with protecting the citizens who elected them. Now, as Nigerians prepare to travel for the holiday season, many are terrified about what awaits them on the road. But this is not just a seasonal issue. This is an ongoing crisis that has been ignored for far too long. And the time to act is now. The root of the problem. Let's break it down for a moment. We have bandits and kidnappers on the loose in almost every part of the country. These criminals move freely across borders, attack commuters, steal from hardworking citizens, and hold entire communities hostage. The Nigerian government has done little to nothing to curb these activities. And when the government does respond, it's often too little, too late. Soldiers and police officers are underpaid, under-equipped, and sometimes unmotivated to do what is needed to protect the people. We see stories of them fighting back bravely, but we also hear of officers who are either too afraid or too corrupt to engage with these criminals. Meanwhile, citizens, especially those living in rural and less urbanized areas, are left to fend for themselves. The situation has worsened, especially as we approach the holiday season when people are traveling for Christmas and New Year celebrations. The roads that were once safe are now lined with danger. Bus drivers, car owners, and travelers alike have to deal with the fear of encountering bandits who demand money or hold them hostage for ransom. But here's the thing. The problem isn't just about banditry. It's about the systemic failure of leadership. It's about a government that has failed to secure its citizens. It's about the weak policies and lack of law enforcement that allow these bandits to thrive. If the government was truly serious about protecting its citizens, we wouldn't be seeing so many deaths, kidnappings, and horrific attacks. But time and time again, we hear the same promises with no real action. We hear of security meetings, we hear of new plans, but we see nothing changing. The pain of the common Nigerian. Let's take a moment to really think about the impact of these attacks. Imagine you're a father or mother traveling to visit family for the holidays, looking forward to spending time with your loved ones, only for that joy to turn to horror when you're ambushed by bandits. Or maybe you're a young professional who's just trying to get home for the holiday break, and suddenly your bus is attacked. You're stuck, terrified, and you have no idea if you'll make it out alive. That's the reality Nigerians face. And sadly, it's not just an isolated event. Every day we hear of kidnapping and attacks on innocent people.
And the victims are often those who have no voice, no protection, and no one in power who will fight for them. While these criminals continue to terrorize the streets, our politicians are busy with their personal interests. They sit in their mansions protected by armed guards, while the rest of the population is left to deal with insecurity on their own. This lack of empathy and action from our leaders is one of the most painful aspects of this crisis. The lack of political will. It's clear that the government is failing. The promises they made during the election campaigns have been forgotten as they continue to live in the bubble, detached from the suffering of ordinary Nigerians. Our leaders are too busy fighting each other for power, position, and wealth, while the citizens are left to pick up the pieces. Banditry is only one aspect of the insecurity crisis in Nigeria. The attacks by Fulani herdsmen, the Boko Haram insurgency in the north, and the growing menace of cultism and armed robberies have all compounded the crisis. What's worse is the lack of concrete plans to address these issues. Whenever we ask about solutions, we are met with vague promises and unfulfilled statements. Why are the borders still porous? Why is there no real effort to stop the flow of arms into the country? Why is there no stronger security presence on our roads, especially during peak travel times? The lack of political will to address these issues is a slap in the face to every Nigerian. How many more innocent lives must be lost before something is done? Why do we continue to suffer under the leadership of people who don't seem to care about our safety?
The people's fight for justice. But even though the government has failed, the people of Nigeria are not backing down. We have seen communities band together to fight back against these criminals. Vigilante groups, local security outfits, and even concerned citizens have begun to take matters into their own hands. And while this is a positive development, it's also a sign of the failure of the government to provide the basic security that we all deserve. As we head into the holidays, it's time for all of us to speak out. It's time for us to demand that our leaders step up and take responsibility for the safety of their citizens. We can no longer afford to sit back and hope that things will get better. We need to hold our leaders accountable for their inaction and push for meaningful change.
The government needs to prioritize the security of its people, especially in light of the growing number of attacks. We need more visible security on the roads, better coordination between federal and state forces, and more effective policing and intelligence gathering. And most importantly, we need a government that will act, not just make promises. So, as we approach the end of the year, let's make our voices heard. Share this video. Let your friends, family, and loved ones know that it's time for a change. The security situation in Nigeria is no longer something that can be ignored. It's something we all have to take seriously because it affects every single one of us. If you want to see a change, if you want to live in a Nigeria where you can travel safely, where your family is protected, then speak up. Demand action from the government and make sure they know that enough is enough. If you believe that Nigerians deserve better, hit that like button, share this video with your network, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Let's keep pushing for safer roads and better security for everyone. If you've been affected by these issues or have had your own experiences with insecurity, I want to hear from you in the comments. Let's start the conversation. Together, we can hold our leaders accountable and fight for a Nigeria where everyone can feel safe no matter where they are. Thank you for watching, and let's stay hopeful for a better, safer Nigeria. Stay safe and travel with caution.